Have you ever wondered how your world just seems to know what you want? Sometimes even before you do. Well, over the next few minutes, we're going to demystify data science. We're going to break down the core tools like pandas and machine learning that are, kind of quietly shaping your digital life. I mean, seriously, how does Netflix predict your next binge watch? Or how does Spotify create that perfect playlist just for you? Let me tell you, it's not magic. It's really the art of finding meaningful patterns that are hidden inside these massive streams of data. And right there, that's the answer. These are the engines running behind the scenes, and today we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how they work, step by step, in a way that's super clear, simple, and hopefully easy to remember.
Okay, so before we can even think about making predictions, we need to learn how to speak the language of data. And that really just means getting it all organized. In the world of data science, the absolute go-to tool for that is a powerful library called Pandas.
Think of Pandas as the ultimate data wrangler. It's this fantastic Python library that lets you take chaotic, messy, real-world data and just transform it into a clean, structured format that you can actually start to analyze. It's your first essential step. So the heart and soul of Pandas is something called the DataFrame. Honestly, if you've ever used a spreadsheet like Excel or Google Sheets, you're already halfway there. It's basically a table with rows and columns, but it's like a spreadsheet on steroids, with the added power of being totally controllable through code.
All right, once you've loaded your data into a data frame using read CSV, your investigation really begins. The head command gives you a quick snapshot, just the first few rows, kind of like peeking at the top of a spreadsheet. Then, info acts like a health check. It'll show you the data types in each column, and crucially, if anything's missing. And describe, that gives you an instant statistical summary, like the average, min, and max, all at a glance. It's your first look before you dive deeper. Now, let's be real. Real-world data is pretty much never perfect. It always has gaps, or what we call missing values. Pandas makes cleaning this mess up super straightforward. You can use isnull function to find all the holes. Then you decide your strategy. Drop NA lets you just get rid of those rows entirely if they're not critical. Or you could use fillna to intelligently plug the gaps with something else, like a 0 or maybe the column's average. This step is absolutely vital because, as they say, garbage in, garbage out. A clean data set is the foundation of everything.
So, with our data all clean and structured, we've set the stage for the main event, machine learning. This is where we go from just organizing data to actually making intelligent predictions based on all those patterns hidden inside. At its core, machine learning is really all about teaching computers to learn from experience, pretty much just like we do. So instead of writing out explicit step-by-step instructions for every single task, we just feed them data. And we let these powerful algorithms figure out the patterns on their own. And guess what? The more data they see, the smarter they get.
Okay, so machine learning usually comes in two main flavors. First up is supervised learning. This is like studying for a test when you have the complete answer key. You give the algorithm labeled data, say thousands of emails already marked as spam or not spam, and it learns the patterns to predict future ones. The other flavor is unsupervised learning. This is where there is no answer key. The algorithm has to find the hidden structures all by itself, like grouping similar customers together without you ever telling it what the groups should be.
Now, building a model pretty much always follows this standard workflow. After we collect and clean the data, that was our Pandas step, we do something really important, the train-test split. We use most of our data, maybe 80% of it, to train the model. Then we hold back the other 20% to test it. This is so important because it means we're checking its performance on data it has never seen before. That's the only true measure of how good it is.
So this model we keep talking about, it's really just the final output of that training process, where an algorithm has learned the patterns from our data. Now, there are lots of different algorithms, and each one is good for different tasks. So let's look at a few of the most common ones you'll definitely run into. One of the simplest, yet most powerful ideas in machine learning is just finding a trend in your data. Take a look here. The algorithm's entire job is to look at this scatter of data points and draw the best possible straight line right through the middle of them. This line, we call it the line of regression, and it captures the basic relationship between the variables.
And that is linear regression. It's a supervised learning model you use when you want to predict a continuous number. Think about forecasting sales, or predicting a house price based on its size, or maybe estimating the temperature tomorrow. If you're trying to predict a value that can fall anywhere on a scale, linear regression is a fantastic place to start. But what if you need to predict a category instead of a number? Well, that's where logistic regression comes in. Now, I know the name is similar, but its purpose is totally different.
While linear regression predicts a value on a scale, like a price, logistic regression predicts a clear outcome, like spam or not spam, yes or no. It's all about classification.
Another really popular classification algorithm is k-nearest neighbors, or KNN. And the idea behind it is so intuitive. You are who your friends are, right? So to figure out what a new unknown data point is, you just look at its closest k neighbors in the data. If most of its neighbors are, say, class A, then you go ahead and predict that the new point is also class A. It really is that simple.
So, we've trained a model, we've gone through all the steps, but how do we know if it's any good? I mean, just building it is not enough. We have to be really rigorous and actually measure its performance. And the most common way to do that is with accuracy. It's exactly what it sounds like. What percentage of the time did our model get the prediction right? It's a really simple and powerful first look at how well your model is doing on that test data we set aside earlier. But to get a more detailed look beyond just simple accuracy, we use something called a confusion matrix. This tool is awesome because it shows us not just if the model was right or wrong, but how it was wrong. It breaks down the correct predictions, the true positives and true negatives, and separates them from the different kinds of mistakes. False positives, where we predicted yes, but it was actually no, and false negatives, where we predicted no, but it was yes. This is so important for understanding a model's specific strengths and weaknesses. As you build models, though, there are these classic traps you have to watch out for. One is called overfitting. That's when your model basically memorizes the training data, including all its random noise and little quirks. It becomes way too specific, and then it just fails spectacularly when it sees new data. The exact opposite problem is underfitting. That's where the model is too simple and it completely fails to learn the important patterns at all. The real goal for a data scientist is to find that perfect balance right in the middle.
Okay, phew. We have covered a lot of ground. So let's do a quick fire recap to make sure all the key takeaways are locked in. Think of this as your last-minute review before the big test.
So, what do you absolutely have to remember? Well, for prepping your data, you use Pandas. That data lives in a data frame, which is just like a table. When you have an answer key to learn from, that's supervised learning. To predict a number on a scale, you'll use linear regression. For a distinct category, you'll use logistic regression. And to get that first grade on how well your model did, you check its accuracy.
And there you have it. From loading data with Pandas all the way to training and evaluating a machine learning model, you now have the fundamental building blocks. You really understand the core workflow that powers so much of our modern world. So the only question left is, what problem are you going to build a solution for?